I never asked you this before. Has a man ever hit on you? Like, seriously?
Yes, in my DMs.
What was your reaction when you first read it? Well, first of all, what did he say?
At first, it was on some like, it was because that's back when I was posting a lot of pictures and stuff. Back then, when I was getting into my little big boy model game,
modeling,
yeah. So I posted that, and hey man, this is dope. Where'd you get the jacket? Oh, no problem. I went and got it from Macy's. It's Polo.
Okay.
So what's up? Nothing, man. What's going on with you? Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and outside of those constructs, I got to stop doing that with my eyes closed because people can see me. Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and outside of those constructs, welcome to another episode of the Samurai Professionals Podcast, the podcast where two young professionals bring issues to the table and we chop it up. I'm your host, Marvin, Young Saint, Cuff Daddy, Charles Flex Xavier, That Man Beyond, Dion Slanders, Petty Pendergrass, Thor Owe Them Some, Captain African America. I'm Black with Hoes. No, that didn't get you one?
Black with Hoes? I didn't connect.
Black Widow?
Black with Hoes. Oh,
that's all right.
Okay.
That means it's trash. That means it's trash. Public Sub-Zero. Scorpion Vibes. Tell your wife to get over here. Hey, Marie.
You're going to have to remove that one.
Hey, Marie. And
No. No.
And the man to the right of me can only be
this nigga. Nacho Man Candy Savage, the serial killer, Applejack the Ripper, the Munch on Lunch, Lord of the Wings, Jabba in the Cut, the Wholesome Dude, Fat Boy Slim, Grits and Gravy, Ron Swong Song, Walter White Walker, Whore Door, Stopper the F and D. One half of this POD, he is I am him. It is Frank. Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up.
Don't make me come after you, bro.
Hey, look, you know where I'm at.
Yeah, you across the street. I know exactly where you at.
Hey, if you want to see me, come see me. Ain't nothing but a short walk.
Ain't nothing but a short walk.
Ain't that how she said? It ain't nothing but a short walk. See you walking over, but you're limping back.
What movie is that from?
That's from Nutty Professor 2.
Okay,
Grandma.
Okay.
She said, it ain't nothing but a short walk. You see you walking over, but you're limping back.
Eddie Murphy killed it in that movie with all the personalities.
Name a movie, like we can honestly, there are a few movies where Eddie Murphy didn't kill it. Like even as much as Norbit isn't like so critically acclaimed, but I could go back and watch Norbit and be like, yo, this shit is hilarious.
Nah, Norbit definitely got replay value.
It's cult following value. It's more, damn, I don't want to give it that. It's more Baby Boy than it is Dreamgirls. You know what I mean? Like it's a different type of feeling.
I think he set the bar so high when it comes to his standards in movie that Norbit doesn't quite measure up to what he normally puts out.
Right.
But it's not bad when you look at the overall spectrum of movies. Like Norbit was funny, but you can't put Norbit on the same wavelength as you would put, the Nutty Professor or Beverly Hills Cop or something.
Absolutely not.
And those two aren't even my favorite movies from him.
They're not. What's your favorite Eddie Murphy movie?
Coming to America, hands down. That's one of my favorite movie periods. Very few might top that. Might.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly, you're probably right. I don't think anything beats them.
When it comes to a comedy, it's damn near perfect. Like I've watched that movie well over 20 times and laugh every time I see it. I know the jokes. I know when the punchline coming, but it's still funny.
I think we all have movies like that because I can name you a couple movies where it's like, no matter what, I'm still like, for me, I could watch The Office. I've probably watched The Office from beginning to end 10 to 15 times, right? And no matter what, certain things are just still gonna make me laugh. I'm still gonna smile. When the cold open happens and Dwight is setting shit on fire and everybody's running around. It's the cold open.
That is the best scene. It's probably the best scene in the entire show, not just cold open, just overall scene. That shit was fucking awesome.
It's really good. It's just such good quality comedy because we all would react certain ways. You got the cat falling out of the ceiling. Like it's just there's so much greatness in that cold open. Like I can watch it 1 billion times and I'm still gonna laugh.
Even the bloopers are hilarious. Like I could watch over and over.
Some of the bloopers are even more funnier than like it's like, man, I'm glad I wish they would have added this. Like right now on Peacock is NBC, right? Right now on Peacock, they have like the extended episodes where they put back all the scenes that they cut out. So like every 30, what would be like 20-minute episodes without commercials is now about like 35, 40 minutes. So you get like all these extra scenes. Some of them are just like, it makes the story a bit more like it doesn't disqualify any of the previous, like the original episode.
But it kind of fills out some things that as a viewer you wouldn't have known.
And if you've watched the regular episodes as many times as I have, it does give you a like, wow, look at this little added bonus. Now, like I'm kind of like rewatching it right now for the first time, essentially.
And I think that's a smart move by NBC, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move by them because it was on Netflix and Netflix had a ton of traffic of people rewatching The Office. And then when NBC dropped their streaming service, they took it off Netflix. And I was like, just personally, I'm like, that's kind of stupid. Everybody done watched it already on Netflix. Like, what more value could you add? But now hearing you say this, it makes sense.
So the thing about The Office, the reason why Netflix wanted to keep The Office, the reason why Netflix wanted to keep Seinfeld, the reason why Netflix wanted to keep Friends is because Netflix is about they have their Love is Blinds and their Stranger Things and those series that make you come back once a year. But what keeps them going are those series that people love every day, in and out. I can watch this. The replay value of it is high. The Office, Seinfeld, Friends are those shows. So to lose that, which was they were trying to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to keep The Office on Netflix.
Because it can even be background noise. Like what I feel like watching. I feel like doing something, having something in the background, but I'm not going to pay attention to my TV too much because I'm going to be on my phone. The Office is perfect for that.
Exactly. I watch The Office to go to bed. It's background noise. And even then, I can literally turn all the way over, not even be looking at the TV. And I can hear it because I've seen it so much, like I can still be like, like I can visualize the scenes. But that's how those type of shows are so important to them. They will pay buku dollars to keep it. But Peacock needed their signature show, and The Office is NBC's, I guess, one of their signature shows, like 30 Rock and all those other things. 30 Rock is a far cry lower than The Office, but it's still one of those shows.
We get what you're saying.
So we did a thing. I guess, as you guys know, we started a YouTube channel, putting out our episodes. It's been a process. I've enjoyed it. I like the feedback. I see we getting comments and I'm hearing from people who I didn't even know were listening to our show in the first place, and now they're watching it. You should go over and read some of the comments on the YouTube, Frank. It's not a lot. We just started, but it did.
At least we got comments.
It shared some insights.
That's a plus.
You know what I mean? Share some insight. You know what I'm saying? But, you guys have been asking for visuals. It only took us 120 something episodes to do it, and we did that shit. But it is what it is. I'm gonna stop fighting
that's
this.
Pretty good.
It is what it is. It's just gonna be it. I was trying to do something. But yeah, man, I actually have enjoyed the process of putting it out there. They will be dropping every Wednesday at 12 p.m. So, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, damn. Now I'm one of those. Hey,
you got to be one of those. It is a necessary beast.
Click your notification bell so that you know as soon as we drop. I'm trying to think of all the good YouTube sayings.
At least you're not one of this guy. Click on the link below and they're pointing and shit. in random areas and different buttons pop up on the screen. At least you're not doing one of those.
I appreciate that. So if you could do that, take your hand and just point in the corner, your far corner. No, the
This
other
corner?
one. The other one. Is that it? What corner would it be, Frank? Corner of the mic. There. No, nigga. In the. This is what I deal with every fucking day. I asked that nigga to point in the corner of
There you go, right here.
He can't even figure it. Like, look, I asked him.
Because it's in the way of my ring light. That's when my ring light is here. So when you're asking me to point, where you trying to point? Right here?
No,
This?
because that would be in the middle of us. You should be in the corner. You were pointing the.
There we go. One of my fingers has to hit the corner. One of them.
Guys, please like, comment, and subscribe.
There we go.
It helps the podcast to grow. You know. I don't know. That really defeated me right there, Frank. When you pointed back at the hats, it really. Because why would I mean the corner of your house? Like, why would that be the corner?
Save 25% when you use the code Samurai Pro on FND.com.
Okay. All right. We have also started a Discord. The link will be in the bio. It will be in the bio of the YouTube as well as the episode and all your podcast platforms. So come talk to us. Y'all been asking for it. Y'all want a place to argue with us and tell us we wrong as shit. I'm not calling Frank out enough. Frank music takes are crap.
Call me out enough.
Yeah, niggas be mad at me. They say I be letting you slide too much sometimes.
On what?
That's
okay. They'll tell us in the
Discord. That's what they did. That's what the Discord will be there for.
My music opinion being trash, I could live with that
because it usually is.
It's just different from yours. I'll say that. But
trash.
The calling me out enough, nigga, you bring me to the table every 3 episodes. How much more can you call me? When have I ever brought you to the table for anything? I can answer that. Never.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's happened.
Out of 120 episodes, it might have.
Okay.
But I doubt it.
I mean, this is episode 122, so it's like...
Yeah. I mean... Speaking of trash music opinions, give me a music opinion of yours that people may consider trash. Give me a controversial music opinion. Go for it.
Kendrick Lamar is not all that.
Okay, when you say not all that, what are you saying? He's a bad rapper? Give me something.
Kendrick Lamar is lyrically one of the best rappers to ever rap. Ever.
Okay.
But so is Talib Kweli. So is Mos Def. And they're great.
And
they're great.
Are you saying?
And they're great. You're not. How about you let me finish? You asked for my. He asked for my opinion,
okay.
Right? He asked for my opinion, and he won't let me finish. He asked me to explain, and I'm doing so, and he won't let me finish.
You brought in Talib Kweli and Mos Def. Okay, go ahead.
And they are phenomenal lyricists. Talib Kweli has one of my favorite albums. I remember playing that walking through FIU. That shit got me through on some tough times. No, I'm not knocking the music, but to consider him the top 3 in the top 3. He's 3, if that. And I mean 1, 2, 3. There it is.
And when you say top 3, you're talking about like this era, right? You're saying Drake, J.
Oh,
Cole,
yeah, not of all time. He's not in my, I don't know if he's in my top 10 of all time, but
okay.
But of this era.
And you're saying he's a distant 3 below J. Cole and Drake.
When it comes to making music, part of the music industry is entertainment, and I don't find his music entertaining. That last album had no replay value to me. And I feel that about most Kendrick albums. And apparently maybe that's just his art form and that's his thing. But for me, other than Damn, which to me is his best album. That's me personally, but it was music that catered to the listener in me. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? This is the shit that normally we can cut out, but now that y'all see us, there's certain things I can't let slide. Here's the thing.
You see me just throw the phone away. I don't know who that was from Ohio calling me.
It could be some business.
Could have been. And you see, I put it on pause for you and the listeners.
Don't do that again. Don't do that again. Don't nobody want. Don't point at us. Get your finger out our face. This nigga say he put it away. He looking at his phone. I threw it away. He gonna sneak and look at it.
I did.
Professionalism, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Samurai Pros, right. Professionalism. You're absolutely right. But going back to what you said, I disagree.
You could.
I actually think personally, I like him better than Drake and J. Cole. But I would say
you have trash music
Drake
taste, so I totally understand. You know what it is?
Anyways.
You like jazzy rap. And Kendrick Lamar give you jazzy rap. That's not trash. And he doesn't have trash listening ears. We just listen to music different. But I know he loves jazzy like music, blah blah blah, hip hop that has a lot of jazz infusion in it. That's kind of Frank's lane. So when I hear Kendrick Lamar, a lot of his cadences you can hear the roots of it come from jazz. So I get why he speaks to you.
Yeah, and he occupies a very niche lane, in my opinion. So folks not getting on his bandwagon per se, I get that. His taste might not be for you. But I do respect that you said lyrically he's one of the best rappers,
ever.
But musically he's not for you. He might not be for a lot of people, but you can respect his talent. I give you that.
Give me yours.
Drake. My controversial music opinion?
Yeah.
Tupac is probably top 5 most influential rapper ever.
Yes.
Skill-wise, Tupac is probably not even top 20. So when you hear best rapper ever and Tupac names gets mentioned, I cringe because skill-wise, there's a lot of rappers better than him. There's a lot of musicians.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you.
But he is not top 5 rapper.
I gotta stop.
He's not top 3.
Okay.
He's damn sure not number 1.
You done?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you. I need you to stop. These are the lines that they tell me I need to draw for you sometimes. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna draw the line. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm gonna step over to the side with you. And I totally agree. 100%. It's not that controversial. Not to me.
Okay. I mean, I figured it was controversial because to this day, whenever people talk about greatest rapper ever, his name come up. And it's like, honestly, he wasn't even a better rapper than Big.
It depends on what we're grading, right? So like recently, Complex did their list of like the top 10 media personalities, 15 media personalities, right? When it comes to the music, hip hop space. Joe Budden landed number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe landed number 1. So they put together that list, but then they tell you like, here are the things we're grading these people on, and this is why.
The rubric.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that.
So based on if looking at the rubric, depending on what you're judging, Tupac can definitely be a top 5 like rapper of all time, depending on what we're judging. Because we talk longevity, because the nigga rapped, nigga had 1 billion fucking albums. Tupac he put out more albums dead than he was alive. Okay.
Okay. Let me give you a little pushback on the longevity stuff. Now, can we really count it? Okay, so someone like Jay-Z, you could give him the longevity title because he rapped throughout different eras. If Tupac made 1 million songs between 91 and 97, and he's still dropping albums in 2000 and so forth, can we still give him the longevity?
Yes.
Title?
If people are still signing up to listen to it.
But it's not, he didn't change with the times.
Hear me out. There's certain, when we were in high school, Tupac dropped an album I can't remember what the title is right now. I'm sure I own it in a CD book that's somewhere in one of these boxes in my house. But he dropped an album, and when I tell you that shit was getting replay value, it was the one that had Biggie and Pac on it.
Yeah, that Eminem produced.
Right. So he dropped that, and there were hella tracks on there. I remember people who was at school with us bumping that shit. So it was getting play. So the longevity for me for him would stop when people stopped, when Tupac was dropping albums, and it was like, ready? Pac's Life. When he had that song with Ashanti, that was it. The longevity had like, he had entered his LL Cool J phase. Like, you make music and like probably like 10,000 people listen to it, but it's not for me.
Okay, I view that a little different. I wouldn't give him longevity. I would say his music does have some timeless qualities to it where it has great replay value. Where even if you played it back then, it would have been a hit. You play it now, people still fuck with it. Much like Biggie's songs. That Life After Death album or Ready to Die, you can still play it and listen to it today. Not a lot of artists can say that, where you go back and listen to their first couple of albums and like, okay, it restores the feeling. Some of these rappers, you go back to their first album and it's like, what the fuck was I on when I was listening to this nigga? You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. But Pac, here's the difference between them. Biggie had 2 albums.
Yes.
That's it. There was nothing else that album-wise dropped after that. Pac had put away music, recording at a level that I think Wayne took key from and started making music in that way, putting catalogs of music away. That even when he was dropped, there were albums that were dropped that I still have to put a part of his longevity, whether he was here to perform them or not. You know what I'm saying? Because this was new music and niggas were still signing up to hear new music from them. That's longevity. Now, after you start to realize that maybe the last like 2 that came out were just like mix and mash of pieces of albums, of lyric lines that they were just like meshing together to make verses, that's a little different.
Frankenstein song.
Correct. There were some of those that you started to notice, but like those first couple, nah, them. Sorry. Tame These Broken Wings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was another good one. Yeah.
That's not the name of the song.
That came out when
that's not the name of the song.
I know, but I know the song.
You know
it's Broken Wings. Yeah. Okay, so if we're, let's say, longevity, you're putting him top 5?
In longevity?
Yeah, you just mentioned longevity. Isn't that not what we were just talking about?
I mean, I'd have to put, there's people who have, he wouldn't be top 5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'd have would he be? I'd have to say Wayne gets top 5. Hove gets top 5. Nas gets top 5. That's 3 of the, like, I'm already, and I can't put Biggie in it. Biggie's not, he doesn't qualify.
No, he doesn't qualify.
Who else making music around that time that's still making music now or still making music
Fat
in that
Joe
span?
Would have to get a nod.
I mean, yesterday's price isn't today's price, but what music did Fat Joe put out?
Fat Joe just had a hit song. What it was last year?
Name it.
Last summer we was talking about?
That was one song.
The one with Ashanti.
And then,
not Ashanti.
Okay.
With Rihanna.
Got you. I hear you. I know exactly the song you're talking about. It was a vibe of the week. Name the song that Fat Joe had before that.
I want to say it was a song with Remy Ma. We Back Outside or something like that. It had to do with COVID ending or something.
And that was
every year. Fat Joe has at least one song that
having
gets radio play.
Song that gets some radio play. That's not longevity to me.
It is longevity because Fat Joe been making music since like 1990, 1992. If you can still make songs today that people listen to, you don't have to put out an album every year for it to count as longevity. If you can make music throughout time, even if you're dropping once a year, like that should be recognized. And I'm not saying Fat Joe belongs in the top 5. I'm saying, does he like us having this conversation is warranted? Like I can't have a longevity conversation about, you know, who Nelly.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we even having this conversation is what I'm saying. Like it's worth the discussion. Fat Joe. But the fourth and fifth spot on that longevity list.
I'm sure if I had a list of rappers in front of me, Fat Joe would not be on that list.
For longevity.
For top 5. He would not make top 5.
No, I'm not saying top 5. I'm just saying
I don't even think he make top
worth
10.
the conversation. Oh, nah, I probably have to stop you right there. He probably makes top 10 because there's not too many rappers that you could have the longevity conversation about. I mean, if you're giving the top 5 spots away, then yeah, you want to think of who's the best of the best. Like we haven't even mentioned Eminem because we.
Oh, I was waiting. I was coming back with that, and I know how you feel about him.
I just don't think his music aged well. I think he's a skilled rapper, but when going back to the music conversation, I don't think he makes the best music.
Okay.
But as far as rapping as a skill goes, he's one of the top. But as far as making good music, I think his songs didn't age well.
Okay. That's a difference in how we listen to music, and that's fine. But yeah. I'm almost part of me, like a little part of me inside is a little insulted that we brought up Fat Joe. And I respect Fat Joe. One of my first hip hop CDs was that Fat Joe. Damn, what's the name of that album?
Jose, Jealous One Still Envy.
What you know about it?
I mean, a nigga with trash music taste does hear stuff from time to time. I'm just saying.
I appreciate it. I mean, you had to watch 106 & Park at some point in your life.
Some point.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, instead of us coming up with the 4th and 5th spot, let's let the listeners, when y'all listen to this, send y'all suggestions on who may occupy that 4th and 5th spot.
Give us your top 5. If you didn't like Wayne, Nas, Jay, if you don't think they belong, which is ridiculous and you should stop watching, don't, please stay. If you disagree, give us your top 5. Leave the top 5 in the comments, whether it be on the YouTube, whether it be
he's doing
on the Instagram.
Thing. You see that?
Yes. You see how easy that was? See how easy that was? You should try.
I did it.
You can't even keep. All right.
Why does the little things I do annoy you so much?
It's because the thing is, they're little and you could choose not to do them. And yet you still choose to do them every time.
Like you flirting with my wife?
I mean, we had kids. We had a kid together, kid. Like you gotta
Marvin,
certain things you gotta
don't make me walk across the street.
Did I really flirt with your wife? Like we was on the phone, the 3 of us.
You just did this episode at the beginning, the intro.
I said, shout out to her. Look at me. How dare I respect my baby mama? Like, that's crazy.
Nigga.
The shit we talking.
Marvin.
Did y'all see his face?
Leave it at that. What's the next topic?
I mean, damn. That's how you feel? We just moving on?
I mean, what else is to say? Unless you could come up with another one, the longevity. I want to say,
no.
I don't even know if I could put him there. I want to say, I want to give Busta Rhymes some credit too, but I think he falls in the same situation as Fat Joe.
As a Nelly. Yeah.
I would put Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes over Nelly because they came out before. We didn't get introduced to Nelly until what, early 2000s? Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, they've been making music since early 90s. So that's why I would give them the nod above Nelly. But Nelly, he's been in the game a while.
Okay. Not gonna argue with that. Oh. All right, let's get the ball rolling. So what pissed you off this week?
What pissed me off this week? I know I had a pretty. Did something piss me off this week?
I can tell you one.
What?
So I like March Madness, right? Like I could get into March Madness. Usually when everything's going on, unless I had my cousin played at FAU some years ago. So even then I was like more into it, other than worried about the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Kentuckys, the mainstays that you're kind of used to seeing. And you're like, oh, I expect to see them
powerhouses.
I expect to see them in the big game. I'm not too worried about all the ins and outs and the inner workings and shit like that. So this year, for the first time, I was invested in the women's game. And you could call me misogynistic or whatever, but there's a reason why women's sports don't get enough shine. And I believe it's a lot of media that do it. But I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast earlier this week. And
it's not the media. It's just the level of athleticism. It's simple.
I disagree. Because if you love basketball, basketball is basketball, right?
It is not.
So because they can't dunk, it's not for you.
That changes things. That's like somebody saying, I like car races. Okay. Watching a Formula One car race is a lot different than watching two Honda Civics go down I-95.
That's fucked up the way you
But you got my point.
No, I already understood your point. I disagree with your point. I was just letting you get it out. I disagree. I believe part of what brings eyes to the TV is the media attention and the way they build certain narratives. There's a reason why the Lakers were shit last year, but they talked about us every day because the narrative of the NBA season was, man, LeBron is so great in doing these all-star level things, and the team is still not making it to the playoffs. There's a narrative there. The crowning of Giannis at one point was kind of a narrative, but that's kind of fallen off. He got his one ring, but is he really the next guy? Now the narrative is kind of like, you see what I'm saying? Like
he doesn't play for a big market team. Had Giannis played for New York, it would have been way different.
I hear you, but that's media control of certain narratives about. But that I'm talking about just one league, one sport, and I can tell you all these different narratives about it. One of the things that I noticed this year was that the women's game had a far better narrative than the men's game. Because after LSU won, there's no one talking about that men's game. It's not even, it's an after, like them boys probably played their heart out. And I don't think they got much ESPN coverage afterwards because no one seemed to give a fuck.
Yeah, because the narrative for the women's game was something that's as American as apple pie.
Before you get to
everybody ate that shit up.
Before you get to that, because I disagree.
You're gonna get to it.
Before you get to that, what I'm saying with the narrative was there were because before the game, the narrative was there because almost 9 million people watched this game. That's more than the NBA playoffs of 2021. That's more than any ML Major League Soccer game. That's more than any Stanley Cup final in the last 40 years. People stopped to watch the women's game because it had a narrative. It had a player people were kind of getting behind on both sides. You had Angel Reese for LSU. You had why is her name escaping me?
Clark.
Yeah, we'll just say
last name Clark.
She's a loser. We'll just say Clark. And I'm not gonna do her like that because
you already did her like that.
No, and I'm gonna say why. There was things happening because a lot of people had chose. I want to say South Carolina. A lot of people were choosing to be the winners of that tournament.
They had the best defense.
And when Clark's team went in there, took them out. When Iowa went in there, did their thing. She was cooking, okay?
She had 40 points.
She was cooking. I'm not saying nothing bad when it comes to her playing. She was out there playing her thing. You know what I'm saying? Talking cash shit, which you earn the right to when you beating niggas by double digits. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk my shit. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to tell you can't see me. Because you can't. Because I think there was a quarter where she was responsible for every point that went in, whether it was an assist or she scored it herself. That's a crazy stat for anybody. So I'll give her right to talk the shit. But then there was Angel Reese, who said she was sitting at home and she went on Twitter. She said, I saw the way she was talking shit and I ain't like that. That's it. That's all she said. And I ain't like that. So when it was their time, when LSU and Iowa met in that final game, she talked her shit. And I'm all about, there's a certain level of athletic petty that I enjoy because my favorite player is Kobe Bryant, who fashioned himself after probably the most pettiest nigga to ever play sports. Michael Jordan.
Oh, we know who you're talking about. You have to say
I'm just saying. So I watched that level of petty work where it's like, I don't have to say it immediately. I'm not even going to react to it just now. Oh, but later, you're going to know I logged it. You're going to know I feel away. So when she was doing the, you can't see me, you too small. You can't see it, but like right here, I'm putting my hand down. Too small.
You know, when you do stuff, you don't have to describe your actions. No. Like they can see you now.
No. I just wanted, because you can't see my hand. Like if I had just started down here, you didn't know. And I just said too small. Look, you too small. You got to bring it. When she was doing all that, I understood like what she was coming from. I like that this game had such a narrative. Like it was like the WrestleMania of women's basketball. I think it had way more narrative than any women's basketball game. And I'm talking like even the WNBA. This shit had more eyeballs. To me, that's crazy. And that's because the media was giving it a certain level of attention prior to the game.
Outside the game. Outside the game of basketball, they was giving it a lot of attention. And it was feeding into what, you know how when people say you saying the quiet part out loud? It was feeding into what America feels, but not necessarily saying.
Mm.
And the last time you had something like this in sports was when Magic was going up against Bird for championships. So we haven't had a rivalry like that. Like you had great white athletes in basketball. You had great black athletes in basketball. But there's never been a time where you can kind of pit them against each other, and then tie racial tension in the background to it.
Mm.
I mean, even with, I guess the closest white player you could have did that to was Dirk Nowitzki. And even with him, it just wasn't the same. So in this case, you got Clark, who plays for Iowa, a team that is like 95% white. Then you got, Angel Reese at LSU, which is the complete opposite demographic. Not only are they black, like they the black folks that you see at the spades table. Like they're what some people consider black. Like they some niggas. So
I wish you didn't refer to them as some niggas.
But you get my
I hear
point.
where you coming from, but I was trying not to make it racy, but you took it
But
there.
That's what it was, though.
I mean,
it's not me making it.
They did that.
They did that.
100%.
We didn't do that.
100%.
And the telltale sign of that, they did that because Clark and Reese they do nothing different than any other top athlete does.
Mm.
They go out, they ball, they talk shit. It's a competitive sport.
He's sorry.
I'm sorry. It's a competitive sport. When people are competing, tensions run high. If somebody might have said something, you're going to say some shit back. If somebody think they can stop you and you get the best of them, you're going to say something about it. People give you bulletin board material all the time. Reese had no issues with Clark, but she made something. Like, I need some fuel to go at this girl neck because more than likely I'm going to see her in the finals. She talking shit to some people I might know. You know what? I'm gonna hook my trailer to that. Hey, I don't like that you did that. It has shit to do with you, but I need some fuel to go after you.
That's
and
great.
Clark
athletes.
Probably did the same.
That's a great athlete to me.
Right. All greats do it. I mean, we all saw the Last Dance documentary. Literally, Michael Jordan said that every 30 minutes. That nigga tied his shoes. I took that personally. Like, damn, nigga.
I took that personally. That's how I felt about all the backlash. I took that personally.
Right. And again, no different than any matter of fact, we love Michael Jordan for that. But when these girls do it, it was an issue. It wasn't so much the issues on Emily's side because the black fans, we get it. It's like we ain't got no beef with her. But for some reason, the white fans had so much issues with Reese doing it. Now, when you asked me what pissed you off this week, although that did happen, I wouldn't say it pissed me off because it was expected. Like again, what's more American than that?
I agree.
It's what we've seen day in and day out from these folks.
I agree.
So,
but the thing that pissed me off, why I asked the question that way, why I tried to bring in the conversation that way, is because how does he say it? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem, when I do it. Fuck them.
Well, fuck them.
Exactly. Like, and that was the energy. Like, that was the thing that drove me crazy. Because it's like when Peyton and Brady are on the sidelines, riling up their team, cussing out their own players, clapping hard in the nigga face. That's passion. That's passion.
Great leader.
Great leader. Look at that. Not satisfied with coming in second. When T.O. is going off on people on his side.
He's a cancer. He's destroying the locker room. You see the shit day in and day out.
That's the type of that example, like that type of stuff just like drives me crazy. And they have sports people coming out and saying, like Keith Olbermann coming out calling her a
dick,
a fucking idiot for doing the same thing back to her that she did to some other people for to put the ring on it, son. I fucking earned that.
Yeah.
What do you think is happening? What do you think is gonna happen? I don't know how I'm gonna cut this, but I need you to. Is your volume really high?
Am I? Oh, you could hear.
I hear my echo.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Maybe if I do it here. Say something.
Something. It's okay. Don't fuck with your shit. Leave your shit where it is. I'm gonna bring you down a little bit on my end because I can control you within here.
Okay, bet. Yeah. You're probably not going to edit that in a video. Just let the shit run. People can see.
No, man.
The inner workings.
No, man. Because I was watching this thing. Everybody don't need to be behind the fourth wall. It takes people out of the experience that they're in. So
okay, so if you know how to do it and cut the shit, then cut the shit. But yeah. What's the last point you just made?
It's cool when they do it. Oh, Keith Olbermann.
No, you said something after that.
Olbermann.
Yeah, people like Keith Olbermann are assholes because so he made his comment and then people started to check him about it. And in his apology, he mentions that he didn't see the whole interaction. He only saw Reese doing the gesture. And people had to tell him, hey, she didn't do anything that this other young lady didn't do. In fact, this other young lady, that's her signature trash talk. She does that to everybody. So now that Reese and her girls beat Emily's team, is her first name Emily?
I don't know where you got the Emily thing.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that from either.
That's a shame.
Now that Reese beat Clark's team, she did it back to her. So it's like it's not a big deal. And then now in his apology, he's backtracking. So what that tells me is that you didn't know shit from shit, and you went out your way to publicly insult this young lady.
That girl name is Kaylin.
Kaylin Clark. I don't know where the fuck Emily come from.
Yeah. So they all look alike? That's how you
feel? I'm pretty sure there's a famous Emily Clark.
I'm sure.
And that's, yeah. But no, they don't all look alike. I just fucked up on the name.
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, it's like, dog, you didn't know this lady from a can of paint. You didn't know the whole situation. But yet you went out your way on a public platform to call her all kind of names. Like, why? What did you get out of that? And there was too many people like him. Like, if you don't like trash talk, just say that. Although we know you lying, because like Dan Le Batard said, the liking a humble athlete is a myth. Nobody likes a humble athlete.
Nobody likes a humble athlete. I want you out there getting rah-rah.
Right. Everybody has an issue with an athlete when it's not their athlete that's doing it. But if it's your guy, if you're a Knicks fan and if you're a Knicks fan and it's I don't know who the fuck plays for the Knicks. Randall. If it's Randall doing some shit, you're okay with it. But if y'all play the Lakers and it's Anthony Davis or LeBron doing something, now it's an issue. But had them dudes been wearing your jersey, you would have been okay. Like that whole wanting humility from your athletes is bullshit. These people work they ass off to get to the condition and the ability they're at. If they could talk shit, let them talk their shit. They've earned it. Because you would too if you was them.
And Olbermann, and there were others. The guy who owns Barstool, he talks some shit, but Wallow and them already got in his ass about some shit, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, because they're on his network.
Yep.
Are they right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he's selling it, so it's no longer his network, but still.
Quick sidebar: Barstool is being sold to who?
They already that's gone through already. I forget what.
Oh, it's done.
That's done deal.
Okay.
Done deal. I forget the name of it. We'll talk about it offline. But yeah, they sold.
Okay.
They're sold.
Didn't know that.
But him, Olbermann, who used to be on ESPN, and now I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, and I know a lot of people said it in a nicer way, but I'm gonna say, shut your bitch ass up. Shut up. There's
straight like that.
There's no reason if Iowa would have won, guess what? I would have never looked at it again, would have moved on, would have been on to the next thing.
If Iowa would have won, LSU wouldn't have got an invite to the White House. However, Iowa didn't win. Iowa lost, and they still somehow got an invite to the White House. Oh, because they played so good. It was a competitive. Fuck out of here.
Jillian.
Fuck out of here.
Jillian. Sit down somewhere. I know Joe must have been at the crib, got the phone call and was like,
hey, your whole tripping. You need to get her.
He had to call her like, I'm barely holding on. And you out here. You out there at the, now basketball, that's their sport. All right. You out there showing out at their sports events. And then you're going to invite. Why are you even mentioning inviting them? Oh, because because she didn't apologize. It came from her publicist where she's like, well, it's been so amazing. She just got caught up in how far women's sports have come since Title IX and that.
Title IX just happened, didn't it? That shit just happened. Get out of here. It ain't even been 2 seasons since Title IX. Relax. Because had Iowa won, we all know you wouldn't have invited LSU to the White House.
Title IX happened in 72. Shit. What are you talking about? That's why I had to pause. Like, let me look this up. What are you talking about, Frank? Title IX?
It's something else that happened a couple of years ago in relation to Title IX. Why are you fact checking in the middle of the show? Just let me be wrong and continue. Jesus Christ, nigga.
Hey, this is an interactive thing now. I can't fact check. I would have fact checked you whether we were on camera or not. What are we talking about?
If we're not on camera, okay to fact check, but we're on camera. Why are you fact checking now? Just let me be wrong. Let the listeners do the research.
Back in the day, you used to be able to be wrong, and I used to be able to edit that shit out.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Okay. Title IX happened in 72. My bad. Can we move on now?
You seem very what's going on? What's going on, sir? You seem like at odds with me.
Okay, this week ain't over. What pissed me off this week is you. You're pissing me off right now.
Okay. Why?
Because you're being Marvin.
Well, I'm Marvin every day. And you choose to be a part of this and be my friend outside of this. Is it just too much today for you?
Perhaps.
Okay. Well, that hurts.
Not really. You don't care.
Really don't. You know I don't care. I really don't. I have embraced being an asshole a very long time ago.
I mean, you can't help being who you are. So it is what it is.
Jordan shrug. Kanye shrug. Kanye did the shrug. You don't remember Kanye shrug?
When he had the Hennessy on stage, that one?
No, he had that Hennessy before he got on stage. He had a lot of that Hennessy before. That might have been Hennessy's greatest endorsement, by the way. If you think about it, they did so much off of that. Because I was like, boy, Hennessy fucking niggas up. You need to get some of that. I was young. I didn't have money. You know, we was used to whatever liquor I could get with this 20. Hey, y'all boys, y'all want to put in on the bottle?
I'm buying Jose Cuervo and shit like that. Horrible tasting liquor, bottom shelf shit.
Irk and Jerk.
I couldn't do it.
That's Miami shit. Irk and Jerk. That
is fucking horrible.
I don't know what to say to you. But see how we got past that? I love you, Frank.
Liar. Anyway, Jill Bryant is tripping.
Jill who?
Bryant.
Biden.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay. That's it. That's your take? Is she's tripping?
Yeah, I said I had a whole spiel before you interrupted me wanting to fact check Title IX. So now it's your turn to spiel.
Oh, nah. Like I said, Jillian, it's difficult enough for Joe, okay? He got to get up in the morning. He got to walk upstairs to get into the airplane. He got to not fall. He is doing everything. He's been wearing sunglasses a lot. Have you noticed? As I slowly start to get back into the wave of, I know politics are coming to be a big part next year. So I've been noticing he's been wearing a lot of glasses lately. Like he was out there with they were doing something with joining with two other countries, UK and I want to say a third, and they were talking about they were sharing information about submarines and stuff like that, like something that the UK had never released, and they were now sharing it with these two, and we were all going to share this information and build, more military alliance. And the other prime minister and the other president were there, and he was the only one with shades on, and I was like, well, I don't know if that's a thing that's supposed to be happening. Is that's a choice? I mean, you look cool with some aviators, but this don't seem presidential in this moment. But I'm gonna let you have it. But I've been seeing that a lot. Bruises?
Yeah, old people fall down and they bruise up easily. So he might have fell and hit his face, and he probably has bruises on it. So shades hide it. What would look less presidential? Him sitting down there with glasses, or him with bruises on his face?
No, it was a good choice. If that's what happened.
Yeah, that's your. And I'm just saying, as an older person, but older people bruise easily, and we all seen he ain't got the best balance.
You don't. What was your spiel
about what?
Joe Biden.
Joe or Jill?
Joe. Any of the Bidens.
I think Jill doesn't. I think Jill's action was the result of not having enough black people in the room. Because had she had trusted people in the room, the moment she said that out loud, before it became a tweet or a press release from her publicist, somebody would have said, hey, I don't think that's a good look. Like in the history of sports, we've never invited the loser. We understand the racial undertones between these two athletes. So by you saying that, is going to leave a sour taste with people that are essentially your demographic and your constituents that you want to earn their votes. We don't want to do that, especially, we're approaching an election year rather quickly, and there's a lot of shit going on the other side. So at this moment, it's to your best interest to try to garner as much support as you can. The last thing you need is to put on anything that'll make people believe we're putting on a dog and pony show just for their votes. Because the moment you say this publicly, people are going to be like, well, you see, this is how you really feel about us.
in the same week, Trump is about to be, arrested and have to go, turn himself in for, all the other shit that he has to go through with this trial and 30 something charges, which is crazy. And you were the one who told us last week. I did not know it was that many charges.
I think it was 34 total, 34 counts.
This is supposed to be the great week for the Democrats. And she out here just fucking it. Like, what are you doing?
Dropping the ball.
Angel Reese, and at least I've seen her, and I believe what's her teammate's name? Damn it, it's skipping my mind. But I've seen them both say they have reached out. They would rather go. They'd rather go and meet with the Obamas than to go to the White House. They say they're cool. They don't need it.
Yeah. I didn't see her teammates say it, but she did an interview with Brandon Marshall. He has another platform outside of I Am Athlete. It's under that umbrella, but it has a separate name. I forgot the name. He interviewed her. Well, he interviewed Angel on that platform, and he asked her about what was her thoughts on Jill Biden's comments, and she said she wasn't. This is me paraphrasing. She wasn't happy with it, and she said she'd rather not go to the White House, and she would rather hang out with the Obamas. It's not a good look, because now this younger guy has all the eyes of America on her, and you just basically made her feel like she don't fuck with black folks. That's the undertones. She might can say, yeah, she don't fuck with LSU or whatever, but the undertones to it is like, hey, had LSU been white, you wouldn't have been invited in Iowa. Or had Iowa been black, you wouldn't have invited them. So however you want to look at it, it's going to boil down to a black and white issue. So you can say, well, no, they both competed well. Okay, cool. I didn't see you invite Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles to the White House. They played a hell of a game. That was probably one of the better Super Bowls I've ever seen.
Agreed.
I didn't see an invite for Jalen Hurts.
And the Eagles is her team.
That makes it worse. I mean,
the Eagles is her team. So
it's like good luck trying to clean that one up. I think at this point, your best bet is to lean on people having a microwave attention span and just letting something else pop up in the news that'll kind of suck up their attention, and you kind of fade off into a different topic to latch your wagon to.
I love latch your wagon. I don't know why.
Well, it's hit your wagon, but I said latch your wagon.
I know, but for some reason I liked it. I was like, okay, I ain't never latch it, but I can see there being a latch.
Right, you see it, right? You get the vision.
You do roofs. That's not your. You don't put wagons on anything.
No, but sometimes let's not get into that. There's sometimes wagons involved in roofing. It hauls material.
I knew that. I just fucking with you.
Oh yeah, man, you're way in the office. I didn't know you had some knowledge of what takes place in roofing. My bad.
Sir.
That's like me saying some HR shit to you. I don't know HR like
Here's
that.
The thing though. Before I was in the office, I was outside. You know what I'm saying? I drove
but
trucks.
You wasn't doing.
I did public utilities. Hey, sometimes. You know what I mean?
So you were close enough to the facility maintenance people to know a thing or two. Got you. Okay, I forgot about those days. I'm over here talking like you went from college straight to the office. You didn't do that.
Nah, man. Sometimes a nigga got to play in the G League. You know what I mean? Not saying that being out there is the G League. Like. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
No, it's not. It's just a different. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of it. I'm gonna get up out of there. I'll just get up out of there real quick. Hey, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Definitely not in a G. No, I'm kidding.
Did you always want to be in the G League, or?
Speaking of the G League, let me ask you this. Earlier in this conversation, we mentioned how what was going on for the women's NCAA completely outshined what was going on with the men's. And one of the arguments when it comes to men's college basketball is that it doesn't have the star power it once had. So to kind of help with that, they started doing, they implemented NILs and they stopped allowing kids to go straight to college, straight to the pros after college to hope you can bring in that top talent at least for 1 year to kind of bring some more star power back to basketball. But none of that stuff seems to be working. So if they had to make you, let's say, king for a day, and one of the questions was, hey, Marvin, how would you improve viewership for men's basketball? What would you do? What do you think men's basketball needs? NCAA. Yeah. The viewership has gone down significantly since, I don't know, the past several years. It doesn't, like right now, this last championship game, I think the highest potential draft picks in those games was maybe a second round pick. That doesn't happen. Usually when teams make it to the championship game in college sports, you would have first round prospects on both sides.
I would remove the NCAA as the governing body. I think that'll help. Remove the NCAA as a governing body, create regions that work out, let people fight their way out of the regions to qualify, put them in a tournament, let them win. People love tournaments. That just is what it is. That's why not just this, but the Super Bowl will always have way more viewers than the NBA Finals because there's a finality to it. We're all building and marching right toward this one goal. The best of 7 series, it just leaves so much to like, oh, if I miss this game, that's all right. I know they're going to lock it up. It'll be 2-2. I can watch the next one. Nothing is appointment viewing. And that's the problem with that. But that's NBA. But for NCAA basketball, I would remove that. Go to specific, just go straight regions, let people play out of it, tournament, move on. But I was serious about my what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, you was serious?
I was dead ass.
Okay, what age are you talking? Because that shit fluctuated a lot with me.
All right. When you first were asked that question, what was your answer?
The zookeeper.
You really do love the zoo. Now I can see that. I can totally see that. Like you saying that makes so much sense.
No, honestly, you can even ask my sister. That was the first career I wanted. I love animals. However,
you don't own a single pet.
Not get What'd you say?
You don't own a single pet.
Now, before I did. In high school, I had a Rottweiler, but then my brother got it stolen.
They stole my Rottweiler too, so don't feel bad.
Man, I was hurt behind. His name was Jake, and he was friendly. So it was a rock, but he wasn't big though. He wasn't like fully grown. He was like 3 or 4 months where he had some good size on him, but he wasn't like scary big yet, if that makes sense. But he was very friendly. Like if you were to call him over, he wouldn't bark at you. He'll just come over or whatever. One day, Don left the gate open, and it's like, where the fuck Jake at? It's like, oh, I don't know. I was just chilling here, and it's like, with the gate open, you was just chilling with the damn gate open. Never seen Jake again.
Yeah, that's how they did Caesar. They literally just got through because we came home. It looked like somebody had cut the fence because we used to have a lock on the fence back then.
Oh, so they went through some effort to get your dog.
Yeah, but I mean, to get a dog to just come with you without like, I don't know, knocking it out or whatever the hell you would have to do to stop an aggressive dog. Because Caesar was pretty nice. He was around me when I was a baby. So like they got him probably like a month after they got me. So like we were like, if he was gentle enough to be around a kid, that's how gentle he was. So
yeah, so
never saw Caesar again.
That sucks. Dog thieves are assholes. They're one of the worst people on earth.
I'll put him up there. Cause some hurt for me.
What about you? What did you want to be?
A Ninja Turtle.
What did young Marvin?
I want to be a Ninja Turtle. The first time I was asked
Seriously?
that, I said the first time I was asked that question, what did I want to be when
How
I grew
old
up?
were you when
A solid 3, maybe 4,
Oh,
5,
okay.
maybe. Ninja Turtle. After that, it was Power Ranger.
Do you know they're bringing back Power Rangers on Netflix with the original cast?
Yeah, they're doing it like a reunion episode. I'm ready for it.
It's not. I thought it was going to be an actual series, not a reunion episode. Like the storyline, because the Yellow Ranger, she passed away in real life. So the storyline in this is going to be Rita kills the Yellow Ranger, and the Yellow Ranger's daughter
Tell the story.
is going to take up the mantle.
Tell the whole show.
No, that's all. The show ain't out yet. That's just the plot. I don't know
The
what
plot
else
is
is happening.
that's like saying, oh, I don't know how Avengers is gonna go, but I know everything that happens in it because I know the plot.
Well, that's what the commercials say. If the commercial is willing to say all that shit, then I'll say it.
Okay. I mean, I knew that, but I mean, if you was going to entice anybody to watch it, now they don't have to.
I thought that was pretty. When I saw that shit, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they got the old cast back because I read like behind the scenes stuff on how they treated certain actors, and that shit wasn't cool.
I mean,
so it's like,
they don't have the whole old cast. Jason David Frank, who played Tommy, he passed away, but he had said he wasn't gonna do it. Kimberly, who's the Pink Ranger. I mean, every boy in the world had a little crush on her at one point in their life. You see, Frank had a whole Pink Ranger outfit, got his ass yoked, and a smooth age of 18. You know what I'm saying?
19.
Shit, 19. And in 19, Frank was already a solid. He claimed he's 6 something, but he was already a solid 5'11" by then.
I was 6'2".
This guy. So I'm saying we all had a crush on her, but she didn't come back for like some sort of financial dispute.
So she's not on the show?
She's not on it.
That's one I saw her.
They got the girl who ends up replacing her. She's on there. The only originals from the original 5
is Billy and Zach.
The other guy, the Red Ranger, Jason, it's Morphin time. That guy.
Yeah.
He got caught up in some PPP shit, so that's why he's not on it.
He's in prison.
No. He's still out, but he's fighting his case.
Okay.
He going to jail.
You know how many people got away with that? With PPP fraud? So you really had to fuck up for the law enforcement to catch you. Like, the boy from Pretty Ricky, I mean, 1, 26 million is a lot of fucking money. And 2, they probably caught him bragging on Instagram.
I mean, it's 26 million that he spread out. But did you see him bragging recently? Did you see the pictures he released from
prison?
Yeah.
Niggas go to jail and niggas go to prison to have a blast.
They be living a good life. It'd be like a boys club in there. And then a boys club.
I've seen videos. Dude had a whole PlayStation and DJ kit in his cell.
Gotta perfect. And I saw somebody, I could have swore there's a prison streamer. Swear to God.
It has to be.
Swear to God.
Them niggas be having TikToks and all. They be doing the dance. They lean the phone up against the wall. And then there'd be about 4 of them dancing in unison.
They ain't got shit to do. Like, I'm not gonna judge y'all boys. Y'all ain't got shit to do.
What I would say about the prison dudes, though, them niggas can cook. I've seen them niggas put together a prison meal, and I'd be like, you know what? That don't sound too bad.
It don't sound too bad. Would I eat it out here in the real world? No. Because it's something about them hot Cheetos, and you made that pie out of it. It just doesn't. It just didn't do it for me. I would have ate it. Like when I was a kid, that's like a good junk food shit. Like I'd have ate that. The way they broke up the honey buns and made and recooked the whole cake out of it for one of the homeboys, and
it was his birthday. Yeah, I remember that.
They melted up the little Debbie cake and then took the icing off of it and then put it around the honey bun cake they just made. That's real. I love prison shows, y'all. I love prison shows. I be watching 60 Days In. Netflix had one called Jailbirds. And I probably talked
with the women.
I probably talked about it on the show. That's when I found out how they be communicating with the guys on other floors.
The girls in New Orleans, right?
No. Jailbirds, I think was in like Detroit or something. They're in this really tall building, right? And on every floor, there's some women on some floors, there's men on other floors, and da-da-da-da-da. They used to have full-on relationships with the men by communicating through the toilets.
I've seen that.
They would empty out the toilets and then talk to it. And a lot of them, you see, they have bad acne and shit around their face because they put in their mouth, where they shit. But needless to say, all of that, what I eventually decided I wanted to be when I grew up was an astronaut.
That's always a good one for kids.
But it was something I was really taking serious. Like my mom got me, I built space shuttle, little miniature space shuttles. I had a telescope. I convinced my mom to let me paint my room. What was it called?
One of the constellations?
Astronaut blue or some shit, which really turned out to just be like royal blue. But
okay.
And then I would have the glow in the dark stars that you could put up there on the ceiling, and I would make constellations out of it by using the book and all the shit. Like I was that into that shit. Nerd, guys.
What stopped?
Nerd.
What changed?
My mom really like encouraged it. I wanted to go to space camp. I didn't. We couldn't afford that.
At Cape Canaveral,
yeah,
NASA.
Yeah, we couldn't afford that. I couldn't go. It was cute though. It was cute. Like I think, like she's like, that's nice.
No, that shit costs bread. She's
like, that's nice. That's nice. Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna sign you up for this park and rec over here by the house.
No, you're gonna stay at Sister Palmer house up the way. Y'all remember the load y'all bike? She said she'll let y'all ride the block. So yeah, that's what I did in the summers. But that's what I wanted to do. So this big space movie was coming out. The old girl wanted to take me to it.
Apollo 13?
Wrong move.
Wrong movie?
Wrong move. No, it was just a horrible movie.
Oh, taking you to see that movie.
Because she was not going to have the great black astronaut that she was going to get when she took me to see that movie. It wasn't going to happen.
So that's what changed it. What happened in the movie?
Oh, them niggas got stuck up there. And I was like, wait, people get stuck up there? Like they was in there freezing, about to die. And when you young, the seriousness of that start to be like, hey, like they may not have made it back. Like they would have just been stuck out there.
This happened after the Challenger explosion, didn't it? And that didn't scare you?
Yeah, but when you were a kid, the Challenger explosion wasn't like a main concern for me because I didn't really hear about it that much for some reason. It was like, oh, that happened?
Shit was everywhere.
Look, in my brain, it was like, oh, that happened? That's crazy. And I moved on.
But a Hollywood film did it for you.
I was stuck in that bitch 2 hours. And I was stuck in there with them for 2 hours. And they was stuck out in space. And they kept looking at Earth. And Earth was like the size, Earth was like the size of your nail. And I was like, well, that shit's far as fuck. So, yeah, that changed everything. So that's when I went into like, oh, I'll do engineering. That's how I ended up in the engineering magnet at Jackson because I was going to do aerospace engineering. I was that focused and being into it. So I found
so it's like, hey, I'm not going to be an astronaut. I'm just going to help these niggas not get stuck in space.
Got you. I'm going to be the one figuring it out for y'all. I'm going to make sure that all the calculations are great. I might help build it, design it. I'm going to get y'all there. I'm going to take a picture on it before y'all leave and when y'all get back.
How come you didn't stick with that in college?
And here's the thing about why having good teachers is important. And no knock on him. The guy was really brilliant. Very smart, man. Mr. Alexander. I didn't mean to call his name. I might bleep that out. He was really smart. He was a horrible teacher.
Being smart and knowledgeable in your subject doesn't always translate. You got to have a passion for children. It has to be part of the equation.
Which is why when he eventually leaves us halfway through the program and we end up, remember, we lose the engineering portion of.
And then you had to come over to architecture in Mecca. Yeah, I remember that.
And I get into architecture with Mr. Bryant. And this is all praises to him. I saw a guy who had a passion for passing on knowledge to the next generation. And that that changes it changed everything for me. I enjoyed those architecture class. Like I remember I had him for 2 periods. And back then 2 periods is 2-hour blocks each. So I had him
so you had him 4 hours.
I would go to art in the morning with Mr. Jenkins, and then I'd go sit with Mr. Bryant for the rest of the day.
That's a good day.
Yeah, it was senior year.
That was a good day.
All I did was draw all day. All this because they put me originally they put me in what was it? AP calculus.
Oof. Not taking that senior year. Fuck out of
Bro,
here.
I got there. I'm seeing all my honest kids who I done came up with. We smart, right? You smart, right? And that motherfucker handed us a package, and it was like, "Oh, the package due end of the week." I went through. I was like, "Can I go to the bathroom?"
Went straight to the guidance counselor's office.
I said, "I don't know what y'all. I'm not doing this right now. I did my time."
Yeah, I did all my homework between 9th and 11th grade your senior year because my brother put me up on game. He's like, look, if you schedule your classes, you can, by your senior year, you could have all electives. And I was like, what?
Nigga, by 10th grade, I was done with a majority of the things that we had to do. Nigga.
Dude, senior year was all, the only like classes I had to take was something like economics. And even that was half a year. Outside of economics, it was really English, because there's 4 Englishes.
You have to.
But economics and English was like the only class where it's like, hey, this is a requirement. Everything else was electives that I really didn't need.
So that was my day. And I saw a guy who I knew for a fact was just there to pass on knowledge. You can attest, he showed us one of his checks. It was 0. He got nothing from coming to work. That wasn't a made up thing that he did just to joke around. He literally was out there just volunteering his time. He'd drive in one of his different exotic cars because literally he made his money already.
Yeah, he was a millionaire.
He was out there.
He collected Corvettes as a hobby, and he drove Mercedes to work.
Exactly. And he was out there creating the next Frank. He was out there creating the next Mr. Bryant. Like that was his goal. Frank is a representative of everything that man was trying to do.
Not the best representative, but yes.
Take some fucking credit. I'm trying to, like, you was real mad with me before. I want a hug later at the end of the show.
No, you don't. You don't care for none of that shit.
Well, since you claim to be 6'2", I don't mind a little hug. I could just nuzzle my
We got camera.
I could just nuzzle my cheek in your bosom.
You know what? I like that idea. And I could put my hand on the small of your back.
Hey, real talk. So the other day, hey, you bum ass nigga. Hey, listen, we was taking a picture. Like I said, we celebrated, his son's dedication. This nigga, we taking a picture, and the man go put his hand on the small of my back as we getting ready to take a picture. And I was like,
I had to pull you in close.
And I was like, Frank.
It was a tight spot. So get in the picture. What's wrong with that?
And I was like, Frank, your wife is here. Like, my nigga, like, you good? Like,
but did you not move over when I did that? You moved over. You came close.
As a man, I have never had that happen to me before. So I didn't you did it, and I was just like, like, okay.
Wait, the way you asked that sentence, let me ask you something. I never asked you this before. Has a man ever hit on you? Like, seriously?
Yes, in my DMs.
What was your reaction when you first read it? Well, first of all, what did he say?
It was on some like, it was, because that's back when I was posting a lot of pictures and stuff. Back then, when I was getting into my little big boy model game.
Modeling.
Yeah. So I had posted that, and hey man, this is dope. Where'd you get the jacket? Oh, no problem. I went and got it from Macy's. It's Polo.
Okay.
So what's up? Nothing, man. What's going on with you?
It's not registering that he's trying to flirt now.
No, I think he said something along the lines of we should link up. And I was like, oh, you take pictures and stuff? Like you're a cameraman, you gotta follow, because I didn't follow him. He had a private account. And he was like, nah, like what you get into?
Still not registering.
Nah, at that point it was like, what you getting at? Needless to say, after I curved him, it's like, nah, man, that's not me. No disrespect. Appreciate it though, but that's not me. He deleted all of that.
So he was probably straight. And
he had a girlfriend. I saw it on his profile. He went and deleted every single message. It got to the point where he was blatantly asking me out, and I was like, nah, no disrespect. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's not me.
Was this somebody like that, like you, let's say y'all hung out in similar circles where although you might not have been friends in social media, like you knew this person in real life? Like I know of him.
I can say that I think I may have seen him like when I used to frequent like clubs more often. Yeah. He looked familiar. You know what I mean? Like, you seem like somebody's face looks familiar, but I don't know you. I don't know your name. I don't know who you be with, but I know I've seen your face somewhere. That's what he looked like. But no knock to him. Like I said, appreciate it. The beard is luxurious. But no. And he deleted every comment. Every message out of that thing. I laughed, What about you?
So yes, I have.
You bowleg. I know they come after you, boy.
Like when it happened, the first time it happened, it wasn't weird. It was like
he didn't even push back on the bowleg thing. It's funny. Go ahead.
It wasn't weird. It was the one like a compliment, like, oh, you're cute. And I was like, oh, thanks, appreciate it. And then you kind of break it. I gotta go. So they kind of get it. Okay, I scared them off. Cool. The second time it happened, it was awkward because it was like a coworker. My car was having issues, so somebody dropped me off to work. And stop laughing. This is serious. So, so I asked him to give me a ride home. Pause. So I'm like, hey, my car ain't here. I need a ride home. He was like, cool. This way it get awkward. On the ride home, he is volunteering information that I didn't ask. So he was like, yeah, man, last night nigga ain't sleep with no drawers on, had my dick all out. And I'm like, why is you saying this? Like,
come again?
No, see, I definitely wasn't going to say that. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's probably what he wanted. So I'm like, why would you tell me that? And he was like, nah, man, I figured, how you sleep. I'm like, you could drop me off right here. I don't stay too far from, you could just drop me off.
You ain't let a man drop you to the crib, man?
Hell no. Nah.
You could have walked.
I don't need him knowing where I live. I'll walk the rest of the way home.
Okay, here's the thing. Whether it was a guy or a girl, him knowing where you live, it wasn't like he was a predator. He was just,
I don't know. Just in my head, I was already uncomfortable. I didn't need you knowing where I lived.
I feel you.
And then work became super awkward after that. Didn't have lunch with the nigga ever again. And I made sure.
So y'all was dating and you ain't even know. Like, think about it. Like when you first getting to meet a girl and y'all like, we'll use the work example where y'all hanging out. You hang out with this person a little bit more. Y'all got a little bit more inside jokes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have more one-on-one time.
Talking about a work wife right now?
No. This is before we even got to old enough to point to even realize what a work wife was. But just like your main home girl while you at the job. Work wife. Your main home girl, but you gotta find the words. You gotta find the words for it. Your main home girl who, when you got the job,
we've all had them. We worked in Parks and Rec. Right. I get you.
Y'all hang out. That's your ace boon.
The person that makes you look forward to going to work.
Yeah, like, man, I can't wait to see my dog. Like, This shit hit every time. Like that person. We all been there. Y'all was just having a lot of those. He thought he was having those moments with you. And that's not like I said, I did not feel disrespected or nothing like that. I said, hey, I appreciate the comment, but nah, man, it's not for me.
Yeah, but he ain't had to tell me how he sleep though. That was just
that was a bit much. That was a
bit aggressive, wasn't it?
He was testing the water. You know, sometimes
nigga.
Sometimes
you don't test water.
Sometimes you just want to know what the temperature is, so you just.
Hell no.
He was just. All right, that was too far. It's too far. Y'all know I'm joking. I'm done.
I ain't gonna tell you, this nigga's an administrator for the school board. Like, he has a high-ranking position.
All right, well, don't call him out. Don't call him out. Leave it alone.
I'm not gonna say his name because he's actually known in the community.
Okay. Speaking of community, I read something earlier this week, and we'll close out on this. It struck me as odd. Ready?
I'm listening.
It said face sitting, cowgirl, or any other position with the woman on top are fundamentally acts of homosexuality. The male is being in a sexually submissive position, is engaging in homosexual activity, and conversely, the woman being in the dominant position is engaging in lesbianics.
Is that even a word?
Lesbianics. I mean, Drake said, "Are y'all into hoes like I am?" Let's be honest. So, I mean, you just got that bar?
I thought he was trying to say, let's be honest.
But are y'all hoes into hoes like I am?
Yeah, no, it makes more sense when you say lesbianics. It makes more sense. It's like a triple entendre. I only caught the double entendre.
He said let's be honest, but he played it with the
lesbian. It's a triple
lesbians, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mad you just got that bar.
I just got that. Damn, that was a good bar. Because if it was just the let's be honest, it was still a good line. But what you just said is like, oh shit, he was
lesbian.
He was rapping up here and I was here.
Him, Cole, Kendrick.
I'm not gonna argue with you that you feel that way, but yeah, it was a good line.
Thoughts? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I must engage in a lot of homosexuality because
yeah, I absolutely disagree with that. I love face sitting when she's on my face.
What? I mean, no, not if you want to sit on her face. Bro.
I'm not sitting on nobody's face. Now, see, had they said some shit like, "Hey, if you let the woman eat your ass, you might be on," I wouldn't have argued that. I would have been like, "Hey, deal with it." But to say I may be on the spectrum because
you just said
no.
If it's something that happens between a man and a woman.
Yeah, I said that last episode. Yeah, I know, but I was joking. I thought you would have caught that, but okay.
So you consider pegging to be gay?
No.
Okay, then that's what
it's closer to the spectrum. Remember, we did the spectrum.
I remember. We're gonna try best. We're gonna navigate this shit best we can. Yeah. So I hear what you're saying, but you just said that if you would have said okay, and you wouldn't have argued if they said if a woman eats a man's ass,
getting your booty hole licked gets you further on that spectrum.
Okay.
But if she's on my face, ain't nothing gay about that. And then someone being on your face, that is not a submissive position. You could damn well be in control of somebody. You can hold that motherfucker up.
It's right in here though. It's the thigh.
That's why your arms bend this way. It bends this way so you can hook a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Where you going?
And that's literally what you say. Those words. That's what you literally say. Because you got to let them know, I got this. Well, you can't go. That's why I'm asking you where you going, because you can't go nowhere.
Why is you trying?
Submissive position, my ass. Even when they on top, you still control shit when they on top. Whoever wrote that, they don't know shit about shit.
They not getting no ass.
At all. That's probably one of them Hotep dudes, huh?
It was listed as a hard truth.
Hard truth. People take way too much time out their day to come up with these bullshit rules on what they feel a man should do, what man should be, what makes a man gay, what makes him like. Why do you invest so much? Oh, and the alpha male, that shit too. Yeah, that's all up in there. Like, why?
Y'all be so worried about what everybody else is doing. Let me tell you, it's about what happens in my bedroom that's important to me. I don't care what y'all do over there.
They'll see a man who's happily married, has children, a loving wife, but she may make more money than him. And then all of a sudden, oh, he's gay or he's a bit. And it's like, dude, how is he any less of a man because she made more money than him? Or she splits bills with him?
Because you're supposed to be the provider, Frank.
You can still provide if y'all splitting bills. That's your times have changed. Like back in the days, it was like if you could support a family on just your salary, cool. It's your choice. Back in the days, women wasn't working like that. Some workplaces didn't even allow women to work. So it was common to say, hey, the man be he's the only one in the house who can work. But now times have changed. Women are now earning better careers. They're earning a better living. Cost of living has gone up. So before, a $60,000 salary can afford you a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. Now, you might be struggling trying to pay off that house with a $60,000 salary. Times have changed. You should evolve with the times. If it takes 2 salaries to have a comfortable life doing that, then it is what it is. It doesn't make you any less of a man. Like, y'all getting mad at the wrong things. Y'all should be getting mad at, hey, how come $60,000 don't go as far as it used to? But yeah, y'all much rather argue, hey, you a bitch if you and your girl both make $60,000 and y'all splitting bills.
I guarantee you, a majority of y'all who are engaged in those conversations aren't making $60,000.
Hell no, because niggas making $60,000 ain't even worried about that shit.
Nah, some are. Sadly, some are.
No. The reason I say he's not worried about that because he's in the real world. He understands. Like, dog, I'm barely making it with this shit. That nigga's probably trying to work doubles and triples and shit because he's trying to get out. He's not about to argue that bullshit. People who's arguing that bullshit, you got too much free time on your hands. You ain't punching in no clock. You ain't getting no solicitations on Fiverr or wherever you try to make your money. Just too much time on your hands.
Damn. You said something.
But yeah, that's sexual position shit. Like, again,
let's stay on the face sitting thing. I want to ask you. So you said men can't face it? Is it when she hold on? Let me set it up for you. When she laying on the edge of the bed, because essentially when you say face sitting, I'm assuming you not actually mean like she like. Well, maybe for you, y'all do the ass eating over there, but like she not sitting asshole in your mouth. You talking like.
Nah, I tell her drop that shit. She put a weight on me. I could hold it.
No, I hear you, but when you refer to that, are you talking coochie? You talking ass? What you?
They both getting it.
Okay. I like that for you.
I get it. It may sound crazy, but I promise you, it ain't that weird. It ain't that crazy.
No, here's my thing though. Like I said, I'm not doing that. I feel like if I'm gonna do it, it should be done back. And since I don't like that.
Let me ask you this. Every time you ate a girl out, you made her give you head every single time? The fact that you got to think about it, I know the answer is no. This time you did it. It wasn't reciprocated. And you didn't care. You went about your business. Y'all either you ate her out and then y'all went into sex or whatever. You didn't say, okay, now my turn.
Okay. I thought you was calling me a munch for a second, but I hear where you're coming from. Go ahead, continue.
What's understood don't have to be explained. We've all been munches. I'm not saying that's you every day. No, but we've worn that title before.
We've been somebody's munch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes, hey, you might just want a little taste. Hey, I just want a little taste. You go about your day. You got yours. We good.
We good. My pleasure came from pleasing you.
There you go. It happens every now and then. See? So even then, you ain't making her, you ain't saying, okay, I do you, now you do me. It's the same thing with eating ass. That made you happy. Boom, I do it. You happy. We good. I don't need you to return the favor.
I hear you. I do though.
It don't make you any less of a person if you lick her asshole.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
This is not it makes me less of a man or anything like that. My thing is
okay.
Is very simply this. I understand that piss come out the front.
Yes.
But I'd rather be pissed on.
That's why you do it after y'all done cleaned
all the
up.
preparations that come with it.
Yeah, preparation needs to happen.
Understood. I hear you.
Certain areas of the body you could deal with if it had a little flavor. You don't want to deal with the ass if it got a little flavor. Like, you go down, you kiss your lady. She come from work. She had a long day. She might have a little flavor on her. Cool.
Some of the days still on.
Me.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of the days, she can't have. She couldn't have a day where she was getting ran ragged at work, where she had to run up 6 flights of stairs and shit like that. Like, nah. I mean, you had a nice little day at the office. You might have walked to, the cafeteria and back. Okay, cool.
It's like
might have to walk from the office to your car. Cool.
It's like a warhead.
Day on you.
It's like a warhead. Like, it may start south. You lick enough, you're gonna get to the sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You just get the look. You get that surface layer of salt off.
And why sometimes you just gotta.
He did the motion and
the reason why you laugh is because you know the.
It's one of those things that we all do. Nobody taught us. It's just you just know it.
I just want to get a little bit of that day up off you.
Just a little bit. Now, it's certain areas. It's like I'm not trying to get the day up off that area.
Okay,
you gonna have to get the day off of that.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I hear you. But no, my thing is, if I'm gonna do it, I would look. Shit, come out of there. All right, I'm gonna just say that.
Right,
and I don't care.
But it could be cleaned.
Okay, you say that. Now look,
I'm saying prior to. I'm a.
There's a difference between the water line that run in and out of the house and the sewage line. So, say they clean out the sewage line. You gonna lick it the same way you be confident to lick the water line?
No.
All right.
But
this is not a kink shame.
Okay.
This is not a kink shame. I respect what you do. That's love.
But see, okay, so
I don't mind.
It's like that, right?
No. I get it.
Your tongue is not going in it. It's like right there. Just
the little rim.
Yeah, just play with it just a little bit.
It's all right.
Yeah. Now if this nigga's out there that's doing this, that nigga's wilding.
How's he wilding?
Because once you break the barrier, it's no holds bar. Anything could be behind the door. This ain't The Price is Right. You don't want to know what's behind door number 1. Or I should say door number 2. But when the door is closed, knock on the door a little bit. Now, if the door talk to you, then you back off.
Okay, first of all,
don't stay close.
First of all, everybody who's listening to this on the pod, make sure you go and watch this particular clip on YouTube. Because you're not getting the visuals. The visuals are here.
So, yeah, don't open up. You might want back, oh, hey, I ain't asking you to come out. I'm just letting you know, hey, I'm here. A little bit.
All right.
That's it.
All right. I hear you.
That's it.
Okay. So you just do it around the rim of the sewage line on the outside. No.
That's it.
Same thing I'm saying. Would you do the same thing around the rim? I ain't say go ahead and kiss the whole inside of the sewage line, just the rim of it. Watch
I
out.
feel safe touching it.
No. With your tongue.
It's clean. It got clean.
With your tongue.
Ain't nobody licking water lines and sewer lines.
I'm asking.
just saying, you know.
It's that is the sewage line of your body.
I mean, I've done it, so I can't say no. So yeah, I've done it. I'm still alive. So
after you ate her ass, you were still able to raise your voice in your house?
Hell yeah. Actually, you seen Baby Boy? You seen how he got tacos made? You eat ass, you get steak and potatoes. It's a game changer.
Okay. You feel like it changed the power dynamic in your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you just unleashed a new weapon in the arsenal. It's like, oh shit.
Okay. Maybe
I could get hit with that too.
Maybe 10 years. Crazy. Maybe 10 years from now, I think like we'll reevaluate 2033.
I'm telling you, all you need, you still drink Hennessy, right? I'm telling you, it's gonna be a day. You're gonna be horny as hell. The stars are gonna align.
I don't do Hennessy no more. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not too much. Okay. Not too much.
It's gonna be a day. You're gonna be hornier than a motherfucker, and you might have some shit in your system that don't help. It's just gonna make shit worse. And you gonna be like, I want all the sex. Just give me all the sex.
All the sexes.
Yeah, I want all of it. Everything you got. We finna go in right now.
Okay.
You're not even thinking about it. It's just instinct. It's just.
So you just instantly, it was like, I'm gonna lick your ass.
I'm licking everything.
Rooted to the tutor.
Literally, that's what it was.
Hey, like I said, no disrespect. I understand. Do your thing. I actually don't necessarily mind watching it when I'm watching, when I'm partaking in an adult video.
It don't look crazy in the video, right? It's the same thing.
It's cool.
Remember when we was younger and people used to be like, oh, he eat coochie. And everybody was like, nigga nasty, eat coochie. And then you see it in a porn, it's like, well, he don't seem that weirded out by it. And then you finally try it at whatever age you try it, and you realize, like, okay, when the first time did you eat coochie? At what age?
A smooth 17. Stop.
Oh, okay.
18. Ate coochie first. Before I fuck.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't ever scared of it. I thought it looked cool. I was like, so you can get that to happen? Look at how she acted. Oh, nah, I want that. I want her to walk away from me, be able to go tell her friends, like, hey, that nigga.
Okay. No, I did it around the same age, but I didn't do that first.
No, but you have fucked a little early. Oh, we went off the rails.
That's the inside of that y'all not gonna get. Y'all not gonna get that one.
I'm never gonna talk about it.
Well, yeah, same thing. Just saw a nigga eat coochie. Then you realize, hey, it's not that weird. It made her happy, so he did it. Same thing. It's gonna be a day. You're gonna be horny. You're gonna want to make her happy. You're gonna knock on that.
What I do at the door above that one?
Well, depending on how it's oriented.
How it's oriented, but usually for me.
Okay. I see.
It's second floor. I don't spend too much time on the first floor.
Now, that's a bit much, but
we already like this is already going way like we way off the rails. Go.
Now, if you change the orientation,
if you hit that goddamn mic one more time,
My bad. If you change the orientation and you just put your nose on it.
Oh, because you eating vagina from the back at that point.
Yeah, and your nose ain't got nowhere else to go. So you just gotta, push your nose on it.
I'm not a super fan of eating vagina from the back, dude. Not that I haven't done it.
They like it though.
Not that I haven't done it.
But they like it. So
your nose.
Something ain't about what you want. It's about what they want. I'm just saying, it's just to think about it.
All I'm saying is, I would appreciate if I'm gonna do it. If she could get her ass ate, then might as well. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
You say that now, but when she asks you to hook your legs like now you feel like you in the now you feel like you about to be dominated. You might not want that. You might like, hey, I feel uncomfortable.
Man,
now.
when she finally eat your ass, you come on this pod and you tell us. I bet she changed your world.
That is not gonna happen.
So here we go. Why not? Since you want to talk about me, go ahead. Why not?
No, I don't want that feeling. No,
I don't want it either. But I'm saying if I'm gonna do it, you can do it too.
What if she say yeah? What if the inverse is what she's saying? It's like, look, I want to do it to you. Where she doesn't even want it. She wants to do it to you.
I don't necessarily need that. I don't need that. I've never had it, so I don't. It's like a dad. I never had one of those. But I mean, like living in the house. Like I never had one living in the house, so I don't necessarily miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like you, I'm sure
you can't miss what you never had.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like I don't. I'm not watching it on the thing. Like, ooh, man, I really want. I don't. And even if I did, there's certain things that you'll watch on there that you'll be like, I'd never participate in that. Like,
yeah, ain't that the truth? Some of these categories be wilding. Like, dog, y'all doing way too much right now.
Like,
who the fuck?
First of all, thank you. but no, I wouldn't do that in real life. But in this 10, 20, depending on how long it gets you there, 30, how many tabs you got open because you really want to get to that last one. Depending on whatever that is, it's cool in that moment. But after that, I'd be like, ugh.
That is not an under 30 tab.
Disgusting. Who am
Computer
I?
running all slow.
Shit hot.
RAM working overtime.
You hear the fan. Doing too much.
Sound like an airplane taking off.
All right, I'm a realist in. So, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and outside of those constructs, this has been another episode of the Samurai Professionals Podcast, the podcast where two young professionals bring issues to the table and we chopped it up. I'm your host, Marvin, young saint, and the man to the right of me can only be
not your man, Candy Savage, the serial killer, Fat Boy Slim, Walter White Walker, the F&D, one half of this POD is Frank, and we just chopped it up. You can email us at the Samurai Professionals Podcast at gmail.com. You can hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at the Samurai Pros. You can subscribe and watch us on YouTube at the Samurai Pros. Search the Samurai Pros, you'll find us. Hit us up with any questions, comments, or even topic suggestions. As Marvin mentioned earlier, the Discord link will be in the bio, so you could connect with us there as well. You can reach me personally on Twitter, Instagram, and just about any other social media platform at I Can Only Be Frank. Where can they find you, Marv?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. Maybe I might do a TikTok. I'm going out of town. And you know, when you go out of town, you start doing shit that you don't normally do. So y'all might catch me with a, you know what I'm saying, little I might hit y'all with one of those. Post it.
Do it and post it.
Maybe in the close friends. I might close friends it. We're gonna start there first. You gotta maybe if I do it, I'll post it in the Discord. So go join the Discord. Okay. We're gonna start I'm gonna start being more candid in the Discord. Content. Maybe we're gonna drop some exclusive dumb, like not dumb shit, but like you want to hear certain things from us that you probably won't hear us say on this mic. Ask us in the Discord. I promise you I'll answer it.
Hey, y'all better listen to him because Marvin is very private. So call his bluff. Get on the Discord and bring the questions to him. I'll answer shit too. It's not just you. I'll answer shit too.
This has been another episode of the Samurai Professionals Podcast. Peace and love.
Peace.
Y'all saw you try me?
I ain't try you.